Hey Lewis, this is Nidhi. It's such a big pleasure to meet you. And I want to say something. I mean, I know you've been to India before. I've seen you in India before from a distance. But this is a big opportunity for me, and this is like a dream come true. I want to start with a question that you probably have never heard. Was it over the line or not?
Well, first of all, thanks for coming. It's a pleasure for me also to be here in India again. I always receive an amazing welcome, and yeah, it was over the line. I think we talk about that moment, but it's always a pleasure. Good memories, good memories.
I remember watching that match as a teenager, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life. But I want to hear, we hear this question a lot, whether it crossed the line or not. But tell me exactly what happened the moments later, except for the absolute explosion. Because I remember at Anfield it was loud and the rafters could come. But tell me what you felt.
Probably one of the best atmosphere that I enjoyed, not only at Anfield in my career. I think that the sound of the crowd, it was incredible. Not only in that moment, but the whole game. I think that. They knew that we were struggling. It was very difficult to play against Chelsea, as you remember, and in that game, knowing that it was a 0-0 in the first leg, we exactly at Stamford Bridge, we needed that extra, and they gave us. And the action that we all remember, or at least I remember very well, when the ball goes up and I'm behind it. I've seen it a few times, and I've seen it from the camera perspective, that I'm behind John Terry as I'm making the run. I try to get in front of him before he clears the ball. And when they ask me about the question of do you see the ball going in and everything, I always say the same. I understand that now with all this like technology, VAR and these kind of things, we might see it straight away.
Right.
But my view, the moment that I make the contact, I wait for the ball to go in. And if you see my reaction, it's straightforward. There is no doubt on exactly
0 and 1.
Exactly. I don't know if a lot of people can manage this kind of situation where there is so much pressure. Then you can think straight away. Listen, even if it's not in, you go to celebrate. At least it has to be 1 second to think about like that. And my reaction is I turn around, I see the ball going in, and straight away I go to celebrate. I know that again. If you see the footage, you see that even Steven Gerrard, I think that is in front of the camera waiting, and after 1 second he goes to celebrate because the referee is running to the center. So
absolutely,
I think it's the best way to see it. My reaction is straightforward. There is no lie on the reaction.
100%. And Lewis, we'll of course talk more about Liverpool, and I wanted to ask you this one question as someone who's been following football in India for 24 years. I mean, we have our football. It's developing, of course, but you've played in India. Recently, Arsene Wenger was here. He spoke a little highly about the future of football in India. What is it that you feel? Do you feel optimistic when you look at the football, when you look at the ISL? What's your opinion?
I think so. The problem is from the critics or from the people here, that I understand that they want to rush up things.
True.
You cannot become a high standard nation or having a team in the World Cups just with a short memory. I know that it's been a competition before for many years. I know that Mohammedan or East Bengal, or there are teams that they've been playing for 420 years.
Right, of course.
And but the follow-up of football, it wasn't as big as it is right now.
That is true.
I mean, the people follow cricket, and I remember traveling with on the bus when we were playing here in India back in 2014 with the first year of ISL. And I didn't see kids playing outside. I saw small grounds and kids playing cricket, but you didn't see kids playing football. So that's the first step. So I'm counting how the explosion of football started in the ISL, or maybe 5-10 years before. And I think the popularity of football has been a massive change. I mean, you can see the kids want to become the new Sunil Chetri,
of course,
or they want to become a new managers. But that is gonna need a time. You're not gonna have football players develop in 10 years. I can assure you that. Now that the kids want to play football more, now that the government is being investing a lot on academies, or bringing coaches to coach the coaches that they are from here, you're gonna see reaction. You see that now the teams are more competitive, they are more professional, and they can compete at the highest level. Even the national team has done a good job.
True.
But you need more time. And imagine, I had the same conversation when I went to play to Australia.
Correct.
Why they don't have more players arriving to Europe? I think there is a time that you need to invest in. You need to invest to the young players. Those generation that they are changing, they need to have more competitive games. You cannot arrive to the age of 18, 19 and have had 20 competitive games. That is not possible. In Europe, my kid started playing 6 years old. In 6 years old, when you are 6 years old, you are competing every weekend. You got 30 games a season. 6 years old, imagine. I know that they all run around, but they compete. And that's something that has to be implemented everywhere if you want to have those generations competing at the highest level.
That is. I mean, I totally agree with that. That's one of the things that we as football fans we speak, and when we talk, we understand that as well. That it's going to take time. But coming back to Liverpool, you of course played under Rafa Benitez and Istanbul. Right? I personally think the second happiest night of my life, the first week when my daughter was born.
Of course,
right? So
sportive night. Let's call it sport.
But if you talk about sport, it's the happiest night of my life. But there was almost a sort of belief when, especially in the halftime when we were 3-0 down, and the entire stadium was singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." There's been talk about this season about some kind of belief. Do you think Liverpool as a football club, we're ready to take on the title? Do you think we're still behind? When you look at us, what do you feel?
The belief that you're talking in 2005 is from the fans, right?
Of course.
I can tell you there was no belief when we arrived to the halftime. No, not much. I can tell you that. Who is going to believe? I mean, being realistic, who's going to believe that you're going to get back? I mean, I think we create 2 chances in the 45 minutes, not even a shot on target.
Yeah.
Against AC Milan with Stam, Maldini, Nesta. I mean, there was no much belief until you go back again into the pitch and you think, I mean, you have to try. The crowd, it was, of course, but there was a lot of people. Now people say, there was belief. There were people leaving the stadium, so
a lot of people
switching off the TV. So
I have to ask you this now before I go to that question. So what changed? Was it Stevie's goal that made you guys believe?
I don't know. I think that you go out to try to one of the sentence from Rafael was to go out, let's go out and think that you start the game again 0-0. In the back of your head is still the 3-0.
Of course.
But you try, and you try in a different way because you change a little bit the formation. You find Steven Gerrard a little bit ahead of the pitch, and I think they change as well. Their mentality or at least the approach of the game, they change it in the second half. They kind of relax a little bit. They take. I mean,
of course,
who wouldn't? I mean, they got a 3-0 up result, and they kind of relaxed. They thought, okay, if we control a little bit the game, it's a matter of 45 minutes, and it's done. And remember that the Italian teams, they've always been very good in defense.
True.
So in between us pressing a little bit higher and being more aggressive, them relaxing a little bit more, and then finding that first goal, who kind of lift you a little bit. The second goal was just a few minutes after. And then when you are 3-2, you know that you go almost 30-25 minutes to get the third one. And the third one arrived very, very quick. So I think that it was a matter of small details that happened during that game that made us really believe. I think the belief started once that Steven Gerrard goal arrived, because you talked in the meantime. You say, no, if Steve is near the box, it's going to be potential. If we can find that goal, then maybe we can. And then everything you start getting more interested, and you start getting more energy, and that's why I think we start believing. Going back to the question of this season, I think everybody thinks after the last 6, 7, 8 years that we've seen that transition when manager Jurgen Klopp arrived to Liverpool and changed the whole situation at the club, giving us again that mentality, winning mentality again, changing the way or style of play with that aggressive intention of always being pressing very high during 90 minutes. Everyone involved, the whole team goes to press it where the ball is, and creating so many chances. I think that every single year, even last year when we struggled to get in the top four, the belief is still until the last moment, because I remember in the last game thinking, if we win this one, we get in the top four.
Right.
So I think this season is exactly the same. We start the season very well. The team looks more consistent, looks more solid at the back. Something that last year was difficult to manage with injuries at the back and the front. Even people complain about when Darwin arrived, and we were expecting a lot more from Darwin Nunes because he was going to be the striker that everybody expected. But the team wasn't the transition. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a moment of like everyone. I mean, Fabinho is leaving, left, Henderson left. So you need some time, and we've seen it in all the teams. We know what is happening at Man United. We've seen that what happened to Arsenal when Arteta arrived. People thought, no, he's not doing it, and look in the last couple of years. So. But I think the belief is still there, and I think that this season the team has got everything to be challenging to arrive. I think no one is thinking we're gonna win it. No one's gonna do it because if you see football, if you enjoy football, if you understand a little bit, because you know that Arsenal is gonna be there, Manchester City is still as strong as always. So, but the important is if you can manage to keep that gap close to the last month, month and a half. If you can manage that 6 points up or down for all of the 3 or the 4 if someone else arrive, I think that Liverpool can be the winner as well as the other ones.
Wow. Luis, I've been a Liverpool fan for 25 years now, and you were absolutely unique in the way you played, and you were absolutely special. But if I have to ask you, if there is one player in the Liverpool team right now or recent history that you find a bit of yourself in that, I mean, similar to you, who would you say who that player is?
Probably for the way, I mean, with differences, because I think he's faster than me and probably he's got more ability, but I think Luis Diaz is similar. Why is that? Because he plays on the wide areas and he does a lot of fantastic diagonals, arriving second line, arriving in the last post, arriving to when no one is expecting him to arrive. So probably he's more skillful than me on the 1v1 situation. I got more view of goal arriving into the box, but he's the kind of player that used to be again wide open, trying to make diagonals, and it's a little bit of a mix between him and maybe other players.
Non-football question, Luis. I know you've been to India before.
Yeah.
But is it like, what do you find the most interesting thing about India, if not football?
I guess that the passion of football when I arrived is always there, because even at the immigration when I arrived, there's always that when they read the passport, Luis Garcia, I do the football. So when I arrive, I know the passion of the football, and I know how big is the Liverpool fan base here. That's something that always is important for a player when I arrive to feel that kind of love. And when I was playing for ATK back in 2014, when I was traveling to every single Delhi, Mumbai, Kerala, Goa, the supporters club, there is always there with a banner. And that's amazing. That's fantastic. The players from my team, they look amazed, because you don't expect that. You are right there. You are ATK, so you are playing against another team, and suddenly on the stand there is always a banner of Luis Garcia to Sangria or Sangria 2005. So that's something incredible. That's stay until today that we'll have a chance of viewing a game with Casper and a group of a bunch of supporters. And the supporters club is going to be there. So I think that's amazing. That's what I love about arriving here.
Well, when you came to Mumbai, when you were playing for ATK, I was one of the people in the crowd. Luis Garcia hitting Sangria. This is absolutely amazing for me. Last question, Luis. One thing you'd like to say because we have a huge Liverpool fan base in India. I mean, you know that by now.
Yes.
But if there is one thing you'd like to say to them, what would that be? And that's my last question.
No, to thanks for the support. I think that sometimes supporters, they don't realize how important they are, and I understand that because they are so far away from the stadium, from the players, they think that but the club does a lot of work. The people behind, not only the players, but the people behind, they do a great job to try to bring all that love to the players. And now social media is there, so it's kind of easier to see it, but the players feel that support and that love. So to be honest, just to thank them for the support and the love, and to tell them that they really feel it. So thanks, and hopefully the support continues. There is a new generation coming, so
Yes.
we need to pass that kind of passion to them. And
Absolutely.
But again, in India, we all know that the fan base is growing, and that's something very important.
It's absolutely incredible, Lewis. Thank you so much,
Thanks for
and
having
thanks for giving me your time. It's a dream come true.
Fantastic.
But it's, believe it or not, it's absolutely incredible for me.
Pleasure.
Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you, my friend. Cheers. Thank you.
Ale, ale, ale!